Ever wonder why some fishing videos just hit a little different? There we go. There we go. That's a peacock. I saw him. It's definitely a peacock. Definitely a peacock bass. Could be a big one too. Oh yeah. Awesome. Yes, there we go. It's about that perfect track that makes your heart race right before the strike. So today I'm finally answering one of the most requested questions I get. How do I find that killer music that makes every catch feel special? Music is so important. It can make us feel happy, sad, stressed, or even excited. It sets the vibe for whatever you're creating, whether it's a quick tutorial or an epic fishing trip. Just swapping a track from hip hop to rock, or from a sad piano melody to an epic house beat, can completely transform how people see your clips and how they feel when they watch them. It enhances the storytelling, and it helps you, the viewer, feel the excitement of the catch or the frustration of a tough day. And we all know I have my share of tough days. So the question for those of us who are creators, it's how do we find good music that sounds modern and fresh? Music that doesn't sound like 80s elevator music, and that also won't get me a copyright strike. One that won't get my videos taken down or demonetized. Because I personally don't want to put all this work into a video and then it gets flagged and taken down. So then all that work was for nothing. So how do I know? Years ago, I posted a ton of informational videos about old reel-to-reel tapes, and eventually virtually every single one of them got flagged. And in fact, they're still on my channel as unlisted. I wonder if I should just delete all of them. Maybe it's affecting my channel. So anyway, you're not going to be able to use top 40 songs, even classic rock hits, for your videos. I frequently see YouTubers doing this, and I feel bad for them because they're going to get flagged instantly, no doubt. There are a bunch of sites where you can license music by individual song, but individual licenses for those are like 30 to 300 bucks at a minimum, making them kind of impractical for those of us who create on a regular basis. So, what's the solution? How do you get good music for your videos? For me, I like Epidemic Sound. It's a subscription service that offers unlimited access to a huge library of music for around $18 a month. The tracks are safe for monetization without any copyright strikes. They have all these features like stems, which allow you to customize the tracks by removing or isolating specific elements like bass or drums. And they also have a plugin for Adobe or DaVinci Resolve, which I use, so I can actually find my music while I'm still in my video editor. That is a huge time saver and allows you to stay focused on what you're trying to get done. Honestly, editing the videos is probably 60 to 80% of the time that I spend on them. The actual filming, the actual fishing, like that's the short part. It's the editing that takes forever. So anything I can do to save time finding good music, I'm all for it. Now, I also use a service called MusicBed sometimes, but the licensing is a little bit harder. It's more expensive, and I can't change the title of my video, which I like to do at times, at least not without redoing the licensing. But I can type in the name of a hit song and then find music with a similar vibe. So that's really cool. Because sometimes it's like, I don't know what kind of music this is, so that feature can be a lifesaver sometimes. I'll leave a link for MusicBed in the description as well. Now for me, Epidemic Sound is the best option I've found for just the day-to-day stuff. But if that's not for you, if you're kind of like, okay, that's cool, but I'm just not down for paying anything for the music for my vids, well, there are some free options. One is YouTube Creator Studio. They offer a free library of tracks. Some of those tracks can be monetized, while others can't. I haven't used it a ton, but it does look like they have about 1,500 different tracks that you can choose from. Now, another free option is you can make your own music using tools like MIDI keyboards or GarageBand or any other software. I've actually played guitar in a couple of bands, but writing and creating music is on a different level. And while this is time consuming, it does offer you full creative control if that's, if you're into that. And it could be something that sets you apart if you have the skills to pull it off. Now, another option is collaborating with composers and artists. If you partner with musicians to create custom tracks, networking with those up-and-coming composers and artists, it can provide some unique music for your channel while supporting their careers. Now, I personally haven't done this, but I'm open to it. And I see other much larger creators who do work with artists to promote their music through their videos. All of those free options take way too much time for me. I don't have time to be scouring the internet trying to discover the next up-and-coming musician that I can partner with. I'd rather spend my time on the fishing and the editing. Well, eventually, I'd like to have someone else do the editing, and I'll just fish a lot more. And while I loved Epidemic sound before, the new plugin for Resolve just makes it way too easy to find the right track. Now, this isn't sponsored, I'm just sharing what I do. But if you use my link down below, it helps me out a little bit. It might pay for a month or two of my subscription. And speaking of paying for things, don't use stuff you haven't paid for. Don't use unlicensed tracks. It will get flagged, it will get taken down, you will get copyright strikes, and it's just not cool. So if you really love a track and you want to use it, just contact the artist directly. Be honest, be nice. We could all use a little bit more nice in the world, don't you think? Maybe they'll license it to you. Maybe they'll let you use it for free. Who knows? So again, as I said, this isn't a sponsored video. I've been using Epidemic Sound for about 3 years now for finding high quality music. And I know for a fact that some of the other well-known fishing channels use it too. I've heard, and I can use some of their more common tracks. So check out Epidemic Sound. It's so important that we all express a spirit of kindness and collaboration in the creative community. So if you're looking for music for your videos, this is a great place to start. Sign up using that link below, and you'll be dropping tracks on your videos in no time. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, so this is for all of you guys who watched to the end of the video. I figured I'd give you a quick overview of some of my guitars. So the first one, it's an Epiphone Les Paul. This is my oldest guitar that I still own, but it's had all of the pickups, all the electronics have been changed. One of the guys that was in the band with me was like, I don't know why your Epiphone sounds so good. It's like, well, because it's not just an Epiphone. The next one is my acoustic. This is a PRS Angelus. They're not really known for their acoustics, but this thing was incredible. And what I loved was the neck basically felt like an electric guitar. You know, so when I was switching back and forth while I was on stage, it was a real easy way to kind of change those things over. And then this one is probably my pride and joy. Let's see if we can get down here a little bit. This is an Epiphone Casino 1961 Heritage Edition. This thing rocks. I mean, they didn't make many of these. I didn't know what it was. In fact, the expert at one of the largest, like the foremost expert on Les Paul guitars, he didn't know what it was either. And so I was at his shop about an hour after he took it in, and all I knew was that this thing, it felt amazing. It sounded incredible. I mean, it just played like butter. And it was unlike any Epiphone Casino I had ever seen. And as a big Beatles fan, like this was a guitar that I had always wanted. And I'd bought a few things from him before. My wife still took lessons there. It's her bass hanging there. Also like a Paul McCartney bass. You can see we're Beatles fans. But I really wanted it, but I didn't buy it. And on the drive home, literally half an hour later, because I played it the whole time she was in her lesson. On the drive home, she's like, why didn't you buy it? And I'm like, it's not like I need another guitar. I think I had 5 or 6 at the time. And she said, if you want it, she's like, and if it's that nice, just buy it. You remember that other one that you never bought and you always regretted it? I'm like, okay. So I called up Vic when I got home. I'm like, hey, I'll take that Epiphone. He's like, great, we'll get it tuned up and change the strings. He's like, I'll have it ready for you tomorrow. So I get in there and he's like, dude, he's like, we did some research on this. He's like, this is a really special guitar. So I got it for a fraction of the price of what I should have paid for it. But I was a good customer. He honored the price, which was awesome. He still made a little bit of money on it. But so that thing is amazing. And as far as the Telecaster that you saw in the picture in the video, I sold that last year. I hadn't played it in over 4 years, and it was worth about 2.5 times what I originally paid for it. So I figured, why not sell it? It just went to fun stuff for the channel. So I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this little sort of behind the scenes of like not fishing stuff. But again, I appreciate all of you guys who watch this, and I'll see you next time.